The trip to the west was initially just for relaxation, visiting an old friend and breathing the countryside air of northern France. But unexpectedly, a conversation over a glass of wine led me to a wild boar hunt the very next day. The West is home to dense oak forests with rugged terrain and ideal environment for wild boars. My friend, a local hunter, said that if we were lucky, we might encounter a whole herd within just a few hours. I was skeptical, but still picked up the rifle and joined in. And so the adventure began unplanned, but full of excitement and anticipation. Comment number 1 to join this thrilling hunt. Just a few seconds later, 2 wild boars appeared and charged across the path. The hunter's blood in me seemed to boil. I raised my rifle, aimed at the white one, and pulled the trigger. The first shot missed, but on the second, the prey couldn't escape. It rolled a few times before lying dead on the other side of the path. A pretty impressive start. I was sure that was enough to score points with the local hunters on my first time joining the team. Moving on to the pre-scouted hunting area, the team began to spread out to track signs of prey. I chose to lie in ambush behind a thick bush and waited patiently. 15 minutes of silence passed before another wild boar appeared. I quietly raised my rifle, waiting for it to come closer, but the animal must have sensed danger and suddenly changed direction to flee. Too bad for it. My barrel had already locked onto the target. Its sideways run only made it easier for me to aim. After just half a morning of hunting, I had already encountered several wild boars. Like the one I just shot, I took it down while ambushing on the hillside. From a distance, I could already see its massive shape. But when I got closer to check its actual size, still shocked me. It must have weighed at least over 120 kilos. Near noon, I finally got the chance I'd been waiting for, a confrontation with an entire herd of wild boars. Spotting their shapes from a distance, I immediately dashed to a hiding spot, stayed silent, and waited for the right moment. The sound of hooves crunching dry leaves grew louder. A lead boar emerged, followed by the large herd charging across the path. I couldn't hesitate any longer and started firing in rapid succession. The earlier shots seemed to have made the wild boars in the area more cautious, forcing us to keep moving. By chance, I spotted a small pond hidden in the dense area. A hunch told me to stop. And sure enough, just a few minutes later, a wild boar appeared by the pond's edge, calmly lowering its head to drink. I tightened my grip on the rifle, controlled my breathing, and gently pulled the trigger. After the successful shot earlier, the team gradually withdrew from the oak forest. We lingered at the forest's edge for a while, seeing it as a final chance to test our luck before heading back. And surprisingly, just a few minutes after waiting, a rustling sound came from the bushes right where I was ambushing. Before I could react, the wild boar charged out at an astonishing speed. My shot missed and the prey escaped immediately. That marked the end of today's hunt. Did this trip excite you? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunting adventures. The brief days in Greece brought me countless unforgettable experiences. One of them was a wild boar hunt in the Amaranthus Mountains during the cold winter. Here, natural predatory species are increasingly rare, causing the wild boar population to grow unchecked. I, along with a few friends, embarked on this hunt. From this experience, I understood why the Greeks still maintain the tradition of wild boar hunting as an indispensable part. After a simple breakfast, we hopped into the familiar vehicle and headed toward the Amaranthus Mountains in the western Peloponnese. It was the season when wild boars moved a lot, creating favorable conditions for hunting. Thanks to the snow, we easily tracked the boar's footprints. I followed the tracks closely, moving quickly because I sensed the prey was near. Do you enjoy hunting wild boars with a rifle? If yes, leave comment number 2. If not, leave number 5. And sure enough, a dark shadow charged down from the opposite slope. I fired in time, a clean shot. The boar fell and slid down the hill. However, I approached and fired another shot because in the forest, certainty is always the most reliable companion. Not far from me, Gilbert had also taken position, firing continuously as a herd of wild boars suddenly appeared. However, wild boars are not easy to deal with. They run fast as the wind weaving through dense trees like a maze. Despite Gilbert's efforts to keep up, aiming in these conditions was truly challenging, and in the blink of an eye, the entire herd vanished as quickly as they had appeared. After about half an hour of moving, we were nearing the mountain's peak. While moving, Gilbert and I noticed unusual movement from the nearby tree line. Hunting instincts urged me to immediately raise my rifle and pull the trigger before the wild boar disappeared into the brush, and with just one shot, the target was taken down cleanly. A quick, effective shot just the way I like it. Upon reaching the mountain's peak, the air grew colder and the snow beneath our feet thicker, but the sound of dogs barking echoed, reminding us not to stop. In a flash, a dark shadow suddenly appeared. Gilbert held his rifle steady and fired a decisive shot. At close range this time, the boar couldn't escape. The race with the wild boars became more intense than ever. Seizing every moment and opportunity, we continued the hunt into the afternoon. The hunting dogs stayed by our side, helping the team locate new targets. The snowstorm thickened and we had to move downhill for safety. We set up a small temporary tent and I sat waiting for my teammates to return. While sitting alone in silence, the sound of dogs barking and distant gunfire jolted me, prompting me to instantly raise my rifle. I aimed and fired decisively. The boar fell amid the heavy snow. I had completed an unexpected hunt. The rain stopped, and under the cloudy sky, I continued searching for the final targets of the day. Hidden behind some wild branches, I quietly observed the movement of a wild boar. Waiting for it to reach the perfect position, I gently raised my rifle and fired a decisive shot to end the chase. After the gunshot rang out, the boar fell, marking the end of this challenging hunting trip. The challenges we faced throughout the journey were not just about hunting, but also lessons in patience and determination. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Welcome to a brand new challenge. Today we'll spend a full 24 hours in the mountains facing the wilderness and tracking down the mightiest wild boars. With rugged terrain, harsh weather, and unpredictable challenges, will we complete the mission? The outcome of this adventure is sure to surprise you. Leave comment number 1 to join us on this hunting journey. The wild boar population in France has significantly increased over the past few decades, with an estimated 1 million individuals. They cause substantial damage to crops and farmland, particularly in Brittany, where compensation for farmers rose from €185,000 to €455,000 in just 1 year. As a result, the government has encouraged hunting activities, leading to a notable increase in the number of hunters, especially women and young people. My hunting team started early in the morning, following the guidance of the OnX Hunt app on our phones. This app integrates digital maps, helping us identify legal hunting areas, analyze terrain, and track prey movement using GPS data. With this technology, we hope for a smooth and successful hunt. Following the app's guidance, we spotted a stray wild boar running frantically. Unfortunately for it, today wasn't its lucky day. As it charged past me, I fired 2 precise shots, leaving it no chance to escape as it rolled down the slope. With our tight formation, we quickly detected another dark shape. It moved cautiously before attempting to flee. However, our hunting dogs quickly gave chase and attacked, forcing it into the open. The boar resisted desperately, but all its efforts were in vain after a decisive shot. A while later, in a small valley below, I spotted another wild boar being chased by the dogs. Despite the considerable distance, I decided to shoot. Fortunately, my bullet was accurate enough for yet another successful hunt. In the more open, hilly area, my hunting companions led the dogs into the shooting zone. Following their barks, we scanned the thick bushes. As expected, a wild boar suddenly charged out at an incredible speed. However, with the reflexes of a seasoned hunter, I fired immediately. A precise shot took down the large heavy boar. On the way back, we stopped by the roadside again, guided by the app. Another encounter with a wild boar unfolded. The boar, sensing danger, didn't hesitate to flee, making accurate aiming a challenge. I steadied my hand, but to ensure success, we coordinated and fired 2 consecutive shots. Finally, the prey was brought down. All the wild boars we hunted were retrieved, concluding a tense and successful trip. The next day, our luck seemed even better. This time, we took on a fierce herd of wild boars in a pristine wilderness area. The landscape featured rolling mountains covered in greenery interspersed with majestic rock formations. Within the first half hour, we spotted several wild boars. Panicked, they scattered in all directions, but our hunting team and dogs quickly gave chase and cornered them. A series of shots rang out at close range, taking down a few boars. The deafening noise heightened the tension. After the volley of shots, we were extremely satisfied with our results. We decided to tackle a tougher challenge, taking down wild boars on the highest peak in the area. This peak was extremely dangerous, requiring extra caution to ensure safety. A gunshot echoed through the mountains, bringing down a wild boar that rolled down the slope. The hunt grew increasingly intense as we repeatedly encountered boars. Fortunately, luck was on our side. With just a basic hunting rifle, my shooting skills were pushed to the limit and the boars fell one by one. At the foot of the mountain was a small valley with a stream running through it. The cool waters seemed to be a favorite resting spot for the boars as they love to bathe and cool off. We carefully followed the stream, searching for signs of prey. As expected, wild boars appeared near the riverbank. We tracked their movements closely. However, shooting accurately in this area was challenging due to the many branches obstructing the view. I spent a lot of time chasing and ambushing a specific boar. Finally, in the brief moment it paused, I fired decisive shots, bringing it down instantly. Spotting a wild boar on the run, I quickly gave chase and cornered it against the mountainside. As it frantically tried to escape the hunting dogs, I fired. Another wild boar was successfully taken down. Though hunting boars may seem easy landing, accurate shots requires a high level of marksmanship. Fortunately, with years of practice and experience, I was able to make those critical shots. We ended the trip while it was still early. However, this mission is far from over, as controlling the wild boar population remains an ongoing challenge. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. While we face threats from nature, no one expected that wild boars have been silently ravaging Texas lands for nearly 20 years, causing immeasurable damage to agriculture. At the same time, invasive species are also devastating the land, spreading disease and threatening the survival of many plant and animal species in the region. Leave comment number 1 to join today's exciting hunt and explore these challenges. With their rapid reproduction rate and strong survival abilities, wild boars have become one of the most dangerous invasive species in the United States. They devastate crops, damage natural ecosystems, and threaten agricultural security as well as biodiversity. Traditional control methods such as trapping, fencing, or ground-based hunting have gradually become outdated, no longer effective enough to keep up with the rapid spread and explosive population growth of this species. Over the past 20 years, the damage caused by wild boars in Texas has reached $335 million, and this figure has increased by 60% compared to 2024. This poses a serious challenge, forcing authorities and communities to seek bolder and more effective solutions to address this growing threat. Have you ever imagined what hunting wild boars from the air in Texas would be like? What once seemed like a scene from action movies has now become a daily reality in many rural areas of the southern United States. Helicopter hog hunting, a strategy combining military technology and professional hunting skills, is emerging as a leading solution employed by many wildlife control companies and large farms to tackle the surge of this invasive species. Modern helicopters piloted by experienced aviators fly close to the ground at speeds up to 170 miles per hour. They are equipped with infrared camera systems, low-range radar, and night vision goggles, enabling quick detection and tracking of targets even in low-light conditions or when navigating dense and complex forests. Not limited to just target detection, helicopters are also equipped with advanced weaponry, typically AR-15 or AR-10 semi-automatic rifles, paired with holographic sights that allow hunters to aim from long distances while maintaining near-perfect accuracy. Within minutes, a helicopter can sweep over more than 500,000 acres of farmland and dense forest areas where wild boars frequently hide and breed. A precise shot from above can instantly take down an adult boar, helping to reduce pressure on invaded lands. In helicopter hog hunting, the Bell 206, Jet Ranger is the most popular, a standout civilian helicopter known for its high maneuverability, fast speed, and excellent stability when flying at low altitudes. It can also be fitted with additional hunting support equipment. Some companies use more compact models like the Hughes 500 or Robinson R44, which are not only fuel efficient but also capable of carrying 2 hunters and the necessary gear for a long-duration hunt. Helicopter hog hunting in Texas isn't a cheap experience, but it's certainly an incredible adventure. Costs range from $1,500 to $8,000 depending on the package, with upgrades like automatic weapons and night vision equipment driving the price higher. Despite the expense, imagine soaring over rugged terrain, armed and ready to take down invasive species with incredible precision. Would you be willing to pay for this experience? Agree by leaving comment number 2, or if not, comment number 5. Although Texas allows helicopter hog hunting as a wildlife control measure, the process is not a free or arbitrary activity. Only hunters with valid permits and approval from private landowners are allowed to conduct such hunts. This ensures that hunting activities do not infringe on others' property rights while adhering to strict regulations on wildlife management, environmental protection, and community safety. Unlike sport hunting helicopter, hog hunting is not aimed at recreation or harvesting, but primarily serves the goal of rapidly reducing the population to limit agricultural damage and protect the environment. Therefore, participating hunters must act professionally and humanely, prioritizing quick and clean kills to avoid unnecessary suffering for the animals. This requires high skill, alertness, and ethical responsibility from the shooter. A misplaced shot not only causes unnecessary harm to the animal, but also poses potential dangers to companions and the surrounding environment. From takeoff to landing, every process is tightly controlled from ground coordinators and pilots to the hunters on board. Weather, terrain, flight paths, target areas, and emergency response scenarios are meticulously calculated to ensure the trip is not only effective but also completely safe. Clothing and protective gear are crucial elements in this experience. High flight speeds, strong winds from the rotors, air turbulence, and unpredictable hunting conditions can cause both physical and mental fatigue, so thorough preparation helps hunters maintain focus and effectiveness throughout the journey. You should wear full coverage, durable clothing, high-top non-slip boots, and gloves to protect your body throughout the hunt. Safety goggles and a helmet are mandatory, shielding you from flying debris, dust, or impacts in emergency situations. A professional operator will provide detailed advice on clothing equipment and even simulate scenarios before the trip. Be proactive in asking questions and preparing thoroughly, as in an aerial hunting environment. Meticulous preparation is critical for ensuring safety and effectiveness throughout the journey. Would you prioritize eliminating wild boars that are destroying your crops or those that could spread diseases? This is just the beginning of a challenging hunting year in 2025. We'll address all your questions in part 2 of this episode, so don't forget to leave your questions below. Help us out with a like and subscribe to support our channel so you don't miss any updates on this hunting journey. A few days ago, I unexpectedly received an invitation from a friend in Texas to join a challenging wild boar hunt. But this isn't your typical hunt. It's an annual event for the locals where the best sharpshooters gather to take down massive wild boars, the sworn enemies of crops and ranches. Leave comment number 1 to join us on this thrilling hunting adventure. Wild boars have an astonishing reproduction rate. A female can give birth to 4 to 12 piglets per litter with 2 to 3 litters per year. After just 115 days of gestation, they're ready to welcome a new generation. Even more alarming, within 6 to 8 months, these piglets mature and start reproducing, creating an unending cycle. At this rate, within a few years, their population can grow exponentially, spiraling out of control, causing serious issues, devastating crops, destroying ecosystems, and even threatening humans and livestock. That's why annual hunting events are organized to regulate their numbers and prevent an uncontrolled population explosion. As our off-road vehicle rolled through the vast fields, the first rays of dawn illuminated the horizon. The moment we reached the hunting area, the dogs picked up the scent of wild boars and charged forward. We quickly raised our rifles, ready for action. Suddenly, from the thick bushes, a wild boar burst out at an astonishing speed. Without hesitation, we pulled the trigger. A shot hit, causing the boar to stagger before collapsing. A few other boars hiding in nearby bushes, startled by the gunfire, bolted from their cover.
Perfect.
But within seconds, gunfire rang out again and another boar was taken down. One tried to escape, but before it could vanish, a shot was fired. It all happened in the blink of an eye. After the intense opening encounter, we moved into a vast meadow where another herd was foraging. The team spread out, waiting for the perfect moment. The dogs barked loudly, signaling the targets were near. A group of 5 boars approached. I took down the first with a single shot. The second turned to flee, but before it got far, a bullet brought it down. The remaining 3 scattered in panic, but I fired quickly, dropping each one. Within seconds, all 5 were eliminated. Venturing deeper into the hills, we spotted tracks leading to a larger herd. The dense trees made visibility tough, but experience helped us quickly locate them. The first target was taken down instantly. 2 nearby boars had no chance to escape as follow-up shots finished them cleanly. The other hunters in the group also fired relentlessly. By the end of this encounter, 7 more boars had been eliminated. Staying in position, we moved cautiously, observing every detail. A sudden noise ahead put everyone on high alert. A wild boar appeared right in front of us. I pulled the trigger repeatedly, each shot hitting its mark, bringing it down instantly. The sun began to set, but the hunt was far from over. Continuing our search, we spotted a few stray boars foraging. Seizing the opportunity, we quickly attacked. I aimed at a boar hidden behind some bushes and fired a precise shot, dropping it on the spot. 2 others tried to flee, but they couldn't escape our sights. Gunfire rang out again, and we claimed more trophies. At a forested hill, we spotted over a dozen boars hiding within. Without hesitation, we took positions, weapons ready. In a synchronized attack, we unleashed a storm of bullets. The chaos sent the boars scattering, but within seconds, more than half the herd was down. Returning to the rendezvous point, we counted the total over 30 wild boars eliminated in a tense, challenging day of hunting. The hunt ended with a deep sense of satisfaction, but I know there are still many boars lurking out there, and the next chase is sure to be even more thrilling. The wild boar population is growing at an alarming rate, making population control more urgent than ever, especially as food scarcity forces them out of hiding, becoming bolder and easier to hunt. This is considered the ideal time for wild boar hunting in Europe. Are you ready for this? Leave comment number 1 to kick things off. Hunters often organize large-scale hunts in wild forests and mountains, hoping to take down massive boars. And this time we encountered a true monster. It was larger than any we'd ever brought down before. As usual, with weapons and gear ready, we immediately began the journey. It wasn't too far, a mountainous area near where we live. We've faced wild boars at this location many times before. After being assigned the task and identifying the hunting area, we quickly moved to a high vantage point, an ideal spot for observing the entire forest. In the quiet stillness, a wild boar suddenly appeared. It moved agilely, weaving through the trees. We immediately pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out and took down the target. Looking toward the opposite hill, a massive wild boar appeared, followed by its herd through the scope. With little time to think, we quickly raised our rifles, aimed straight at the herd, and fired. However, the dense forest terrain with thick tree canopies provided natural cover, making the first volley of shots less effective than expected. The herd quickly scattered, vanishing from sight in an instant. Undeterred, we swiftly regained our composure and launched a second attack. This time, things went remarkably well. 2 boars were hit, collapsing onto the white snow. The rest fled in panic. We immediately split into groups, following their tracks to continue the pursuit. Do you enjoy this hunt? If yes, leave comment number 2. If not, leave number 5. As we closed in on the boars, gunfire rang out steadily, echoing through the forest. Finally, the wild boars were brought down, scattered across the area. Realizing that manually searching each section was inefficient, we decided to use drones and hunting dogs to enhance our ability to locate prey. Within minutes, the dogs' barks echoed through the forest, signaling they had picked up the scent of wild boars. We immediately sped up to head toward them. As soon as we arrived, the entire team was drawn to a massive dark shape. It was an enormous wild boar. The chase was intense, but after a long pursuit, the boar began to tire. Its initially powerful strides became slow and labored. Seizing the opportunity, I quickly raised my rifle, choosing the perfect angle. At just 50 meters, a sharp, decisive gunshot brought down the colossal 200-kilo wild boar. While the team was still basking in the thrill of victory, a strange noise erupted from the bushes ahead. Suddenly, a massive wild boar charged out at terrifying speed. Instantly, I raised my rifle, aimed straight at the beast, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. Only then did we get a chance to approach. It was a colossal boar weighing 350 kilos. After that unexpected encounter, we continued our search. Occasionally, a few wild boars appeared in our sights. Unbeknownst to them, every move was being tracked. After crisp gunshots, boars of all sizes fell to the ground one by one. The next day, we continued the hunt. Moving through the thick layer of leaves was a real challenge. Each step was heavy, time-consuming, and drained a lot of energy. However, our persistence quickly paid off. Just past a cluster of trees, I suddenly encountered a large herd of wild boars. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and fired repeatedly at the herd. After a hail of bullets, quite a few targets were brought down. While lying in ambush on the mountainside, I suddenly spotted a herd of wild boars moving hurriedly. It seemed they had sensed something unusual. Staying calm and observing, I waited for the perfect opportunity to strike. I pulled the trigger repeatedly, taking down the large boars in front of me. Exhausted yet exhilarated, we wrapped up the hunt with immense satisfaction, as this was undoubtedly one of the most successful wild boar hunts ever. Did you enjoy today's adventure? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunts. At my house, every nightfall brings eerie sounds from deep in the forest that send chills down our spines. It's the wild boars, uninvited destroyers, relentlessly ravaging our family's small garden. Today, I and a few friends have planned a nighttime hunt in a nearby wild valley. What will we gain from this hunt? Comment number 1 and join me on this thrilling journey. The heavy air seemed to signal an approaching storm, but it didn't shake our resolve. It wasn't until around 7:30 p.m., when thick darkness enveloped the forest, that the first wild boars began to appear. They were impressive in size, with thick dark gray fur and long distinctive snouts, always alert to unfamiliar sounds around them.
Check out, bud.
In the downpour, we quietly watched the pig approach the trap and cautiously begin to eat. Waiting for the perfect moment, I quickly fired at the pig in the most advantageous position. The gunshot caused the pigs to panic and scatter in all directions. I immediately adjusted the rifle and continued searching for targets in the darkness of the forest. Then a boar slowly stepped out from the bushes. I pulled the trigger. The gunshot dropped it on the spot. This nighttime hunt was truly wild. The rain made things tougher, but we pressed on, determined to take down the prey in our sights. 1, 2, 3. Luckily, the rain stopped quickly, leaving behind cool, quiet air. We decided to move to another spot, a large meadow nearby. In the pitch-black night, a herd of cattle rested, creating a peaceful scene. But not long after, we spotted something surprising. Do you see it? Not just one, but several massive wild boars standing among the cattle. These wild boars can weigh up to 200 kilo, and with their aggressive nature, they don't hesitate to confront other species. I aimed at the largest boar, gripped my rifle tightly, and pulled the trigger, taking down one boar after another. With each shot, we had to focus on firing accurately, ensuring we brought down as many boars as possible. The large, panicked herd scattered in all directions, making aiming more challenging. At the same time, we had to be careful not to mistakenly shoot the cattle. When the hunt was over, the ground was littered with slain pigs scattered everywhere. We quickly gathered the spoils, lining them up for inventory. Despite taking down many pigs, a large number still escaped, leaving us with some regret. Our goal didn't stop there. Have you ever hunted wild boars at night? If yes, leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave the number 5. Determined to hunt larger wild boars, we climbed onto the truck bed, scanning the distance for prey. One of the weapons I carefully prepared was a speaker emitting a special sound. The realistic sound from the speaker not only piqued the pigs' curiosity, but also drew them closer. Look, a wild boar swiftly weaved through the grass, approaching us. It was massive, with dark skin and fur, its eyes glowing red under the light, though slightly wary. Its curiosity drove it closer. When it was within ideal range, I fired the first shot, aiming straight for its head. However, the wild boar didn't go down. The second and third shots rang out in quick succession. It still struggled and tried to escape. It wasn't until the fifth shot that I finally brought the prey down completely. The trophy filled us with immense excitement. Just kidding. What it seemed, this hunting experiment was far more successful than expected. Not only the sound, but the light from the spotlight also attracted more pigs. We continued our ambush, taking down a few more, all drawn in by the sound I created. This was truly the most novel and thrilling night hunting experience I'd ever had. It was late, but we persisted in our ambush, determined to take down a few more wild boars. The massive dark shadows leisurely foraged in the field, unwittingly stepping into our sights. Once I locked onto a target, I quickly fired. The loud gunshot startled the pigs, sending them fleeing. However, our group of hunters didn't let them escape. Everyone carefully adjusted their rifles, aiming to take down the entire herd. Precise shots allowed us to bring down several large pigs, a remarkable achievement. In the quiet night, we worked tirelessly to hunt the pigs, helping to reduce the damage they caused to local farmers. Yet as the night grew later, fatigue began to set in. We realized it was time to end the hunt. The gunfire gradually ceased and the pigs were likely too frightened to return. The hunt concluded with proud results, bringing the joy of a successful night. The final shot fell silent and the countryside returned to its usual tranquility. Despite the difficulties and challenges, our coordination and persistence helped us achieve our goal. It was truly a memorable experience, a wild but thrilling night. Thanks for following along. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel to join us for more exciting hunting adventures. See you on the next journey.
Right there.
The situation in Mississippi is becoming increasingly severe as wild boars frequently invade farmland, causing significant damage. Cornfields, rice paddies, and other essential crops are being destroyed, posing major challenges for farmers. In nearby areas where agriculture is the backbone of the economy, the estimated damage caused by wild boars reaches up to 15 billion USD annually. Leave a comment with the number 1 to join us in exploring today's hunt and learn about measures to address this issue. It is estimated that around 600,000 wild boars are causing significant damage to both rural and urban areas. Local authorities are struggling to control the wild boar population, but this is challenging due to their rapid reproduction rate and diverse habitats ranging from forest to agricultural lands in urban areas. These challenges demand more effective and sustainable control strategies to mitigate the damage caused by this invasive species. As the threat from wild boars intensifies, residents have implemented various measures to control their population and limit their hiding spots. Dedicated teams have been established to monitor set traps and manage the wild boar population. These traps are often placed in areas frequently visited by wild boars. The traps are typically 10x at 10 feet, in size large enough for boars to easily enter and become trapped. Made of sturdy steel mesh and designed with automatic gates that close once the boar enters, these traps ensure efficiency and safety in controlling this invasive species. This measure ensures greater safety for residents during the trapping and relocation process. With this type of leg trap, hunters don't need to use bait to attract wild boars, as the traps are placed in strategic locations where boars frequently pass through. Only hunters with special permits are allowed to hunt wild boars. To obtain a permit, hunters must undergo a rigorous training process lasting at least 6 months. Do you like this trapping method? If yes, leave a comment with the number 2. If no, leave the number 5. The Mississippi authorities strictly regulate the issuance of hunting permits and the use of traps to ensure the safety of hunters from wild boar attacks. In many cases, wild boars have escaped traps because hunters failed to check them after setting. If traps are not securely anchored to the ground or the clamps are not tight enough, boars can easily break free during vigorous movement. The traps used must be licensed and meet the standards set by Mississippi authorities to ensure effectiveness and compliance with safety regulations. Using traps that do not comply with regulations can lead to hunters having their hunting licenses revoked. Additionally, large steel cage traps are strategically placed across affected areas. These traps designed to capture multiple wild boars at once have an effectiveness rate of up to 85%. In areas like Inch, hundreds of wild boars have been managed through this method. Each trap can capture 3 to 5 boars depending on the size and structure of the cage, effectively controlling the population of this invasive species. Hunters need to check traps regularly, ideally 12 to 24 hours after setting them to ensure humane hunting practices and quick trap reuse. The trapping season typically occurs in autumn and early winter when wild boars are more active in searching for food. Trapping during this period helps minimize the damage caused by wild boars to crops and property, while better controlling their population growth in residential areas, protecting both the community and the surrounding environment. Nighttime is when wild boars are most active, so setting traps during this period increases the likelihood of capturing them. This type of trap not only helps reduce the damage caused by wild boars, but also ensures environmental safety, avoiding negative impacts on other wildlife. Thanks to modern sensor technology and motion detection devices, these traps can capture wild boars with a success rate of up to 80%, providing an effective and sustainable method for controlling this invasive species population. Using steel cage traps to manage wild boars in Mississippi has several advantages over using firearms. Over the past 5 years, this method has saved costs on ammunition and eliminated the need to hire professional hunters. Moreover, steel cage traps are safer for the environment as they produce no noise pollution, pose no risk to hunters, and minimize negative impacts on the surrounding ecosystem, effectively and sustainably controlling the wild boar population. With an estimated average of 20,000 wild boars captured annually through the steel cage trap method, this approach has significantly contributed to reducing the damage caused by wild boars nationwide. Hunters then collect the boars at trap locations organized by local authorities. This activity not only mitigates damage but also provides critical data for the government to refine management strategies effectively. Each year, Mississippi authorities also organize community education programs to raise awareness about the harm caused by wild boars and provide essential knowledge to avoid dangers when encountering them. Through years of effort and community education, Mississippi has established a robust prevention and control system leading to a more stable life for residents. Comment with the number 1 if you support the way Mississippi residents hunt wild boars using traps. Please like and share the video to gain more benefits in your work. Keep following for the next video.
Hello everyone. The roar of a lion echoes through the dark night on the savannah, signaling danger as a series of attacks have caused serious losses to both people and property. The question is hunting the only option, or do we need a more balanced and sustainable solution? Leave a comment with the number 1 and keep watching the video to find out the real danger posed by invasive species. In the remote mountainous regions of Botswana, small communities living on the edge of the forest face a silent terror from the growing presence of predatory animals. In 2023 alone, Botswana recorded over 50 incidents of lions attacking livestock, resulting in damages estimated at $40,000. Even more concerning, 3 confirmed attacks on humans have also occurred, though fortunately, all villagers escaped unharmed, and no one was injured by the invasive predators. When lions stray from their natural territories, can humans truly coexist with them? Or are they forced to choose between confrontation and survival? Why are lions approaching human settlements in the first place? In Botswana, climate change, deforestation, and the decline of natural prey have driven lions out of the highlands and into lowland communities. With few options left, these silent predators have grown bolder, launching attacks under the cover of night. According to conservationists, it is the very changes humans have made to the ecosystem that have left these invasive predators with nowhere else to go. Faced with the rise of invasive predators, lion hunting has become a necessary option in Botswana. However, the government does not permit mass hunting. Each hunting permit must be accompanied by an environmental assessment to determine the level of threat. Hunters use high-caliber rifles ranging from 220 to 275, equipped with 3.28-foot optical scopes, allowing them to maintain a safe distance of 160.4 to 328 feet, far enough to avoid surprise attacks, especially from leopards. A precise shot ensures a humane takedown. But the question remains, does this truly reduce the threat? Or is it merely a temporary solution to a deeper, systemic issue?
Congratulations. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, Ricky.
Each lion hunting permit in Botswana costs between $1,000 and $3,000 and comes with mandatory training on conservation ethics and firearm use. Failure to report a hunt can result in the permanent revocation of the hunter's license. According to a 2023 report, Botswana will issue up to 80 leopard hunting permits to help control population levels without disrupting the ecological balance. Comment 1 if you think this information needs more detail. Have you ever been lion hunting? If yes, comment 2. If not, comment 5. To reduce reliance on lion hunting, locals have been guided to build tall electric fences and install motion sensor lights around their living areas. In addition, night patrols equipped with flashlights and loud whistles have been organized to detect and scare off lions from a distance. According to a survey by the Botswana Department of Wildlife Conservation, after these measures were implemented, mountain lion attacks dropped by nearly 30% in just 1 year. Furthermore, one of the long-term strategies is community education. In Botswana, training sessions are held to teach residents how to recognize signs, understand movement patterns, and avoid encounters with lions. People are taught to identify droppings, track prints, and use fire or loud noises as protective measures. While some believe that hunting leopards is necessary, many conservationists strongly oppose it. They argue that even regulated hunting poses a serious risk to a declining species, with estimates suggesting there are fewer than 350 lions left in Botswana. As an alternative, they propose birth control methods to manage the predator population more humanely. What do you think is the most effective solution? We have the right to protect our lives, but have we forgotten that nature, too, has the right to exist? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hit the subscribe button to stay updated on the latest developments in Botswana. Welcome to the next episode. The wild boar population in Spain has surged, posing a threat to suburban areas. Authorities are warning residents to keep their distance, as incidents involving wild boars continue to rise. Just last year, over 200 cases were reported in Barcelona alone. The pandemic has worsened the issue, with lockdowns pushing boars into quieter urban areas. Tell us what you think about the wild boar problem in Spain. Leave a comment with the number 1 if you believe stronger measures are needed to control them. Investigations have revealed numerous cases of wild boars attacking humans, with some even targeting police officers, and efforts to drive them away have been unsuccessful. With the wild boar population in Spain expected to exceed 2 million by 2023, many are questioning whether it's time to implement more effective measures to manage this growing threat. To prevent further attacks, the Spanish government has employed wire traps as a common method to control the increasing wild boar population. These traps are particularly effective when strategically placed near agricultural areas, forest edges, or locations with an abundance of food sources. Installing these traps requires patience from hunters, who set the traps and wait for the wild boars to get caught. Only about 1,500 traps are allowed to be installed in the Catalonia region, where wild boars are most active. Data from the Spanish Hunting Institute shows that this method has been effective in controlling the wild boar population in Catalonia. Over 4,000 wild boars were caught using wire traps within a year, resulting in a reduction of wild boar attacks on residential areas. The traps are regularly checked to ensure they do not harm non-target animals and remain effective in capturing wild boars. Wild boar traps are typically set during the summer, especially from June to August, when wild boars are actively searching for food to store fat. This is when wild boars are most active and aggressive, so hunters need to be especially cautious and maintain a safe distance when dealing with them. Setting these traps requires patience, as it can take anywhere from 2 hours to a week for the wild boars to trigger the traps. However, hunters need to regularly check the traps to ensure they are properly triggered. To hunt legally, hunters must obtain a permit from local authorities after completing a mandatory course. In some regions, like Castilla-La Mancha, more than 50,000 permits are issued annually, ensuring that hunters are well prepared to responsibly manage the wild boar population and protect the environment. Have you ever used this wild boar trapping method? If yes, leave a comment with the number 2. If no, leave a comment with the number 5. Wild boar hunting during the winter in Spain is a tense and crucial activity in regions like Catalonia and Castilla-La Mancha. Hunters use Winchester .308 rifles to target wild boars at distances of up to 200 yards. These areas see hundreds of wild boars being taken down each winter, with more than 5,000 boars hunted in some regions during a single season. The snow-covered terrain makes tracking and moving through dense forests particularly challenging. Hunters must stay focused and use physical endurance to move efficiently through the terrain. Wild boars are more aggressive in the winter, making safety a major concern for hunters. Hunters are responsible for accurately reporting their findings. By identifying tracks, they can determine the age of the wild boars, which helps in tracking population trends. For instance, if a hunter reports a 3-year-old wild boar, this provides valuable data to understand the age distribution of wild boars in the area. These reports are crucial for developing better solutions and creating new countermeasures. The government has intervened to allow hunters to play a key role in controlling the wild boar population. This strategy has sparked some controversy. What do you think about these methods? Do you have any alternative ideas for addressing this issue? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. These approaches have been quite effective in preventing the spread of some invasive species. Do you have any ideas for better solutions? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments so we can all discuss. Thank you for staying and watching the entire video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to tell your friends about us so they can watch too. Goodbye, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hello everyone. In South Carolina, over 9 million wild boars have wreaked havoc on farms, inflicting significant damage on the agricultural industry, with losses estimated at $12.6 million. How the farmers fought back against this overwhelming invasion of wild boars? Comment 1 to share your excitement and explore the solutions in this video. On the afternoon of June 15, 2023, a herd of 50 to 100 wild boars invaded an unharvested wheat field, devastating over 100 hectares of crops. According to local residents, the wild boars gnawed and trampled the wheat plants, completely destroying the field and rendering it impossible to harvest. This incident caused substantial losses for farmers in South Carolina, highlighting the severe impact of wild boar invasions. Hunters are required to strictly follow government regulations to obtain a hunting license. This includes being in good physical health to navigate difficult terrains and having vision that meets specific standards, typically 20/20ths, to accurately spot wild boars from a distance of 308 feet. Adhering to these regulations not only ensures the safety of hunters but also plays a crucial role in protecting the environment and maintaining wildlife balance. In South Carolina, the wild boar hunting season begins on July 1 and continues through February 28 each year across the state. In certain designated areas, as specified in the permit, the season may be extended into March and April, providing additional opportunities for hunters to manage the growing wild boar population. In this region, the hunting season may change from year to year, so hunters should always verify the latest information with the South Carolina Wildlife Management Agency. During autumn and winter, wild boar activity intensifies as they forage to build food reserves for the colder months. This is also their peak breeding season, and hunting licenses strictly prohibit hunting during this time. Violators face severe penalties, ensuring the protection of the species during this critical period. Hunting wild boars is a risky endeavor due to their aggressive behavior, which can result in serious injuries. Hunting in groups significantly improves safety, as team members can work together, coordinate strategies, and provide immediate assistance in emergencies, such as offering first aid if someone is injured during a wild boar attack. Additionally, group hunting boosts efficiency by dividing the task of locating wild boar hideouts among team members. Hunters must come well prepared with essential gear, such as firearms, ammunition, first aid kits, GPS devices, and communication tools. It's also crucial to review local regulations and carry the required permits to ensure legal compliance and a safe, organized hunting experience. In South Carolina, the temperate climate can quickly shift to harsh conditions, particularly during fall and winter, creating significant challenges for hunters pursuing wild boars. Sudden hot weather can increase the risk of dehydration and heat stroke, affecting both hunters' health and their ability to stay focused. Preparing for unpredictable weather is essential to ensure a safe and successful hunt. To tackle these challenges, hunters must be well prepared with essentials like drinking water, energy-rich food, protective clothing, and medical kits. Additionally, the use of drones has revolutionized wild boar hunting, offering significant advantages. Drones provide a bird's-eye view, allowing hunters to detect and monitor wild boar movements more effectively, especially in complex or densely forested terrain, enhancing both efficiency and safety during hunts. Secondly, drones equipped with high-quality cameras can capture clear images and videos, even in low light or adverse weather conditions, making it easier to pinpoint wild boar locations accurately. Thirdly, drones save hunters significant time and effort compared to traditional tracking methods, while reducing the risk of accidents associated with navigating through dense forests or rough terrain. Sandra Jun embarked on her first wild boar hunt in South Carolina, demonstrating great enthusiasm and determination. The hunt unfolded in a densely wooded forest, where Sandra stayed focused and energetic. However, the wild boar's constant movement out of range made the hunt particularly challenging. Despite the obstacles, the experience was immensely enjoyable. Sandra's positivity and sense of humor uplifted the entire team, and she expressed her commitment to learning and improving, aiming for greater success in future hunts. Wild boar hunting in South Carolina is growing in popularity, with an increasing number of women taking part. However, some conservative communities remain opposed to women participating in hunting, citing traditional and cultural beliefs. They argue that hunting is a physically demanding activity suited for men, expressing concerns that women's involvement might challenge traditional male roles within families and society. However, supporters maintain that women have every right to pursue activities they are passionate about, including hunting. They argue that women's participation promotes gender equality, challenges outdated stereotypes, and fosters a more diverse and inclusive hunting community, benefiting the activity as a whole. Does women's participation enhance the hunting experience and promote gender equality? This question holds significance as societal views on women's roles in traditionally male-dominated activities, like hunting, continue to evolve. If you support women's involvement in hunting, drop a comment with the number 1 and join the conversation. The hunt was a success for the hunter, who, with strong teamwork, managed to take down 5 wild boars, each weighing approximately 88 ounces. This achievement brought a sense of accomplishment and excitement to the group, fulfilling their desire for the thrill of the hunt. The smooth coordination and effective communication among team members were key factors in ensuring this positive outcome. When hunting wild boars in South Carolina, it's essential to stick to areas specified in your hunting license, such as designated hunting grounds, national forests, and conservation zones. These areas are carefully chosen to keep hunting activities away from residential neighborhoods, reducing noise disturbances for local residents. However, the use of firearms remains a point of contention, as many people oppose it due to the loud noises that can disrupt the lives of other animals and the surrounding ecosystem. Therefore, choosing hunting areas far from residential zones and strictly following hunting regulations helps balance the needs of hunters with environmental conservation. If you support firearm hunting in South Carolina, don't forget to hit the like button. If you enjoyed our content, share it to show your support for women participating in wild boar hunting. Thank you for watching the entire video, and stay tuned for more exciting content ahead. Hi everyone! Florida, a state in the eastern United States, is grappling with a significant challenge to its agriculture and local communities: the invasion of wild monkeys. What strategies have Florida's farmers employed to mitigate the damage caused by these primates? If you're excited to dive into this topic, drop a comment with the number 1 to show your enthusiasm. These monkeys are causing extensive damage to Florida's agriculture, with losses estimated at approximately $75 million annually. Additionally, their aggressive behavior and potential to attack humans present a serious threat to local communities, raising concerns about safety and coexistence. To address this situation, several measures have been implemented, including shooting wild monkeys, which has become a common method carried out by licensed hunters in Florida. This approach involves using appropriate hunting equipment to control the monkey population. However, hunters are required to strictly comply with Florida's state hunting regulations to ensure ethical practices and legal adherence. Hunters often use fruits as bait to attract monkeys, making it easier to locate and manage them. Shooting wild monkeys is considered one of the most effective methods for controlling their population. According to a report from the Florida Department of Natural Resources and Environment, approximately 10,000 wild monkeys are shot annually. However, this method remains ethically controversial. While it is the most commonly used approach in Florida for population control, it continues to spark significant debate over its moral and environmental implications. Some argue that this method is inhumane and unjustified, especially given the intelligence and strong social bonds of wild monkeys. On the other hand, proponents believe it is the most effective way to manage the invasive monkey population and mitigate the damage they cause. Striking a balance between controlling the population and addressing ethical concerns remains a significant challenge. Continued research and open discussions about alternative, humane control measures could help shape the future of wild monkey management in Florida. This demonstrates how individuals and communities can adopt natural solutions to tackle complex agricultural challenges while preserving the environment. This thoughtful approach not only fosters a favorable environment for agriculture, but also helps maintain plant diversity and supports the well-being of wild monkeys in their natural habitat. By blending agricultural innovation with environmental respect, we can create a sustainable balance where both humans and nature thrive in harmony. Trained dogs have become an effective tool for deterring and driving away monkeys, offering protection to both agricultural fields and urban areas. Monkeys naturally fear dogs, and the presence of just a few is often enough to keep them at a distance. This approach allows for controlling monkey populations without causing them significant harm, showcasing how humans can implement creative, humane solutions for wildlife management while preserving ecological balance. The use of cage traps is a systematic and effective method for managing wild monkey populations. Common types of traps include net traps, box traps, and burrow traps, all designed for the safe and humane capture of monkeys. These traps enable the controlled collection of wild monkeys without causing them harm or distress. This method prioritizes ethical practices, ensuring that the monkey's health is not compromised during the capture process, making it a responsible and humane solution for wildlife management. After capture, the care of wild monkeys becomes a critical step. Health checks and vaccinations are necessary to ensure they are free from infectious diseases and pose no risk to other animals or humans. Providing adequate food and creating a habitat that closely resembles their natural environment is also essential. Equally important is selecting a release area that supports their natural living needs, helping to preserve their habitat and ensuring their successful reintegration into the wild, fostering a sustainable coexistence. This approach helps preserve the natural habitat of wild monkeys and ensures that they have the opportunity to live freely and reintegrate effectively into the wild. Using cage traps and caring for monkeys in other areas is an effective and humane way to manage wild monkey populations. However, successful implementation relies on strong coordination between authorities, farmers, and the community. This collaboration is essential to ensure that managing the wild monkey population not only safeguards the environment, but also promotes safety and sustainable coexistence for both humans and monkeys. Have you ever come across a wild monkey? What actions did you take to handle the situation? Share your experience in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos.
Eased up over this edge of rock.
We got him. Beautiful giraffe.
Well done.
Hello, everyone. South Africa is home to around 50,000 to 70,000 giraffes, making it one of the countries with a significant population of this magnificent species. However, in certain areas, giraffes can cause considerable damage to vegetation, particularly due to overgrazing on tree leaves. This leads to the degradation of their natural habitat. So, how exactly do giraffes impact ecosystems in South Africa? Leave a comment with the number 1 to join us in exploring this, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest news. When giraffes overconsume tree leaves, particularly in concentrated areas, it can lead to significant ecological consequences. A single giraffe can consume up to 75 wallabies, around 34 kudurers of leaves per day. Their feeding habits can result in trees losing up to 60% of their canopy, which greatly reduces the tree's ability to photosynthesize effectively. This depletion weakens the trees and can lead to a 10 to 15% mortality rate in heavily grazed areas. Overgrazing alters the structure of the habitat, reducing the availability of food and shelter for over 200 bird and mammal species that depend on these trees. To address this issue, the South African government has developed controlled hunting policies to manage giraffe populations while supporting conservation efforts. According to recent data, regulated giraffe hunting has attracted a large number of international hunters with over 200 permits issued annually, generating significant revenue for conservation initiatives. So, do you know what permits and equipment are necessary to legally hunt giraffes in South Africa? These permits may vary depending on the province and specific regulations, but they generally range from $2,500 to $4,000. Additionally, hunters must adhere to strict guidelines regarding the use of certain weapons and equipment, ensuring that they meet safety and ethical standards. Most hunters prefer using large caliber rifles such as .375 H&H or larger to ensure a humane and effective kill, given the size and sturdiness of giraffes. However, a small percentage of hunters, around 10–15%, opt for bows and arrows, typically equipped with broadhead, heavy arrows designed for big game hunting. In addition to their primary weapon, hunters often carry binoculars to observe and assess giraffes from a distance, along with shooting sticks for stability when aiming and safety equipment, such as GPS devices and first aid kits. They may also wear camouflage clothing to blend into the environment and reduce the chance of being detected by giraffes. Have you ever hunted giraffes? If so, leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave a comment with the number 5. Hunting in groups is a common method, with hunters typically traveling in teams of 3 to 5 people. This allows for better coordination, as each member can take on specific roles such as spotting, shooting, and tracking the animal after it has been shot. When the hunters identify the prey, they approach cautiously, ensuring they maintain a safe and effective shooting distance. For giraffes, the effective shooting range is typically between 100 to 200 yards. This range allows hunters to make an accurate shot while minimizing the chance of startling the animal. Hunters typically aim for vital organs, focusing on the heart and lungs, located just behind the giraffe's shoulder. This shot placement is crucial to ensuring a quick and humane kill. What do you think about the responsibility of hunters in reporting and managing giraffe populations in South Africa? Particularly in cases where the initial shot doesn't immediately kill the giraffe, hunters are responsible for acting swiftly by making a follow-up shot to ensure the animal's quick and humane death. After the hunt is completed, hunters are required to submit a detailed report to the South African Department of Forestry, Fisheries, and the Environment. This report must include important information such as the number of animals hunted, their condition, the specific location of the hunt, and any unusual situations encountered during the hunt. This data also helps make informed decisions about future hunting quotas and the overall management of giraffe populations in South Africa. What do you think about this approach? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share your perspective in the comments below. If you like this, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. Recently, the increase in beekeeping in the US has made a significant contribution to the country's impressive honey consumption, totaling about 600 million pounds each year. This honey boom isn't just about sweetening drinks and food, but also plays an important role in cooking, baking, and health and beauty products. The delicious scent of honey has inadvertently caught the attention of around 700,000 giant bears. So, what caused this? Leave a comment with the number 1 to join us in exploring this, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to show your curiosity. Bears are known for their particular fondness for honey, and with their keen sense of smell, they can detect honey and bee larvae from quite a distance, often drawing them to residential areas where beekeeping is common. Have you ever seen or heard of bears attacking beehives in your area? Once a bear has located a beehive, it uses its claws and teeth to open it, causing significant damage to the hive's structure while consuming honey and bee larvae. Bears are willing to endure numerous stings to access these nutritious foods, often leading to severe destruction. This behavior results in losses for beekeepers of up to $90 million annually. How do you think farmers can better protect their hives from bear attacks? Additionally, bears tend to be more active at night, making them more likely to attack beehives after dark when human activity decreases. On August 6, 2025, in Simsbury, Connecticut, residents reported that a black bear repeatedly broke into backyards and destroyed beehives to eat honey, causing significant damage and frustration for local beekeepers. Have you heard of other towns facing similar issues with bears? In addition to targeting beehives, bears are also known to break into homes in search of food. They can find open windows, sliding glass doors, or weak points in the structure and push their way inside. Their strength allows them to break through weak screens or doors that aren't securely fastened. This behavior poses significant risks to property and personal safety, especially in areas where bear activity is common. On September 18, 2025, a black bear in Tahoe Vista, California, broke into a home through the kitchen window, attracted by the smell of food. The bear climbed onto the counter and rummaged through the cupboards and refrigerator, causing significant damage in its search for food. How would you react if you found a bear rummaging through your kitchen? Understanding the damage bears can cause to communities, residents have taken proactive measures by installing electric fences to prevent bear intrusions. These fences are powered by energizers, which convert electricity into high-voltage pulses. The energizers can be powered by AC mains or solar panels, making them adaptable to different energy sources and locations. This provides an eco-friendly and efficient solution to keeping bears out. To ensure effectiveness, the fence must be tall enough to prevent bears from climbing over, typically ranging from 6 to 8 feet. Additionally, the wires should be spaced closely enough to prevent bears from slipping through. Using multiple wires at different heights, including close to the ground, helps stop bears from crawling under or climbing over the fence. It's also important to keep the fence clear of vegetation to avoid grounding issues and maintain the full effectiveness of the electric current. The effectiveness of electric fences in deterring bears is multifaceted. First and foremost, they act as both a physical and psychological barrier. The initial shock a bear receives when touching the fence typically deters further attempts to breach it. Electric fences can also be customized to fit various terrains and property sizes, making them adaptable to different environments where bears may be present. However, there are challenges in using electric fences to deter bears. Vegetation management is crucial, as trees and weeds can short-circuit the fence by touching the wires, requiring regular clearing and maintenance. Do you agree with this method? If so, like this video. If not, leave a 0 in the comments to share your opinion. Additionally, fences are only a temporary measure and cannot completely prevent the impact of bears in the US, leading residents to collaborate with hunters to organize bear hunts. To participate, hunters must have a state-issued hunting license, which typically requires completing a hunter safety course. Additionally, hunters need a bear tag or a specific permit for the area and species they intend to hunt. Bear hunting is restricted to specific seasons, which vary by state and region, and hunters must adhere to these designated times. They are also required to comply with state and federal regulations, including restrictions on hunting methods, permitted areas, and the types of weapons and ammunition used. The impact of the bullet must be carefully considered, and all activities must align with legal requirements to ensure responsible and ethical hunting practices. Typically, hunters use large-caliber rifles, such as the .36 or .300 Win. Essential gear for a successful hunt includes appropriate clothing, binoculars, GPS, maps, bear spray, and safety equipment. Have you ever gone bear hunting? If so, leave a comment with the number 2. When hunting, hunters rely on signs and tracks to locate bears, such as footprints, scat, and feeding areas. They use calls to mimic bear sounds or prey distress calls to attract bears. Tracking techniques also include using binoculars to scan the landscape for movement and aerial signs, as well as employing scopes for distant observation, particularly in open terrain. Additionally, hunters listen for various bear sounds, including growls and the noises bears make when moving through vegetation. Upon spotting a bear, ethical hunters aim for vital areas like the heart and lungs to ensure a quick and humane kill. Are you familiar with these hunting techniques? Hunting bears with firearms is particularly effective in population control, helping manage bear numbers and reducing the likelihood of bears entering residential areas in search of food. It also minimizes the number of nuisance bears by targeting specific problem bears that frequently intrude into human-inhabited areas, thus reducing instances of human-bear conflicts. However, bear hunting also presents significant challenges. It requires a high level of skill and precision to ensure a humane kill, as an improper shot can wound the bear, leading to dangerous situations and prolonged suffering. Additionally, tracking and approaching bears can be extremely difficult due to their habitats, which are often located in dense forests, rocky mountains, and remote areas. What do you think are the biggest challenges hunters face when tracking bears? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Hello everyone. Today, let's dive into the ongoing wild boar crisis in the United States, with a focus on Georgia, where an estimated 500,000 wild boars roam across the state. These animals are primarily found in regions with dense forests and swampy landscapes, which offer perfect conditions for their survival and growth. The highest concentrations of wild boars are in Dodge and Tift counties, where they thrive in expansive agricultural lands and untouched forests, which serve as their ideal habitat. In these regions, wild boars significantly impact agricultural productivity by destroying crops and also threaten local biodiversity. They compete with native species for food and shelter, upsetting the natural ecological balance and harming other wildlife in the process. In Peach County, Georgia, a farm reported that wild boars caused damage to more than 50% of their watermelon crop, leading to a loss of about $30,000 in a single season. In Mitchell County, another report revealed that wild boars destroyed nearly 50% of a cornfield in a single night, causing a decline in both yield and product quality. This led to losses of up to $40,000 for the farmer. These incidents are just a few examples of the numerous reports received each year in Georgia, underscoring the growing severity of the issue. In response to the challenges posed by wild boars, hunters in Georgia have turned to helicopters, using them in conjunction with firearms to tackle this growing threat. Let's take a closer look at how hunters employ helicopters in the pursuit of wild boars and examine the effectiveness of this method in controlling the local boar population. Helicopters play a vital role in wildlife management, especially when it comes to controlling nuisance species like wild boars. When used for hunting, helicopters are equipped with specialized support gear, including machine guns or precision sniper rifles, to efficiently target and manage the boar population. These firearms allow hunters to take precise shots, ensuring that the wild boars are quickly and humanely taken down. This method not only minimizes suffering for the animals but also reduces the number of boars that may escape injured, which helps prevent potential safety risks to other wildlife, people, and the surrounding environment. The responsible and effective use of firearms is key to implementing sustainable management practices for the wild boar population. Helicopters offer the added advantage of flexibility, allowing hunting teams to access remote and difficult terrain quickly and safely. This makes them an efficient tool for targeting areas with high wild boar densities, ensuring that control efforts are both timely and effective. In addition to hunting, helicopters play a crucial role in monitoring the movements and behavior of wild boars from the air, significantly boosting the effectiveness of wildlife management efforts. At Gumlog Plantation, which covers around 2,000 acres, pilots and hunters can efficiently spot wild boars from above, track their movements, and approach them without being obstructed by challenging terrain, allowing for more precise and strategic interventions. Using helicopters in wildlife control offers a major advantage by enabling quick access to expansive areas and tough terrains, like dense forests. This capability is crucial for responding swiftly to emergency situations, helping to minimize the damage wild boars cause to farms and surrounding environments. However, helicopter hunting for wild boars in Georgia also presents several challenges, particularly concerning costs, environmental impact, and legal considerations. The expenses associated with helicopter hunting are significant, with rental fees often reaching thousands of dollars, in addition to the cost for hiring pilots and other operational expenses. Environmentally, helicopter hunting can have several detrimental effects. The noise generated by helicopters can disturb local wildlife and disrupt non-target species. Furthermore, the removal of wild boars from the air may result in carcasses being left behind, contributing to environmental pollution and potentially attracting other predators, which can disturb the ecological balance of the area. In wildlife pest management, properly handling wild boar carcasses after extermination is a critical issue to prevent disease transmission and reduce negative environmental impacts. These strategies require careful evaluation of environmental, economic, and public health considerations. The choice of method depends on factors such as the population of wild boars to be managed, available financial resources, and the extent of the threat they pose to the area. What are your thoughts on using helicopters to address the wild boar issue? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below the video. Thank you for staying with us until the end, and we can't wait to see you in the next videos. In the next section, we'll explore the fascinating world of a bird that symbolizes the beauty of nature, yet poses significant challenges, especially for agriculture. Let's start with the snow goose, a well-known bird throughout North America, particularly during migration seasons. With an estimated population of 60 million, these remarkable birds are predominantly found in Texas and California, which act as vital stopover points during their migratory journey. The enormous flocks of snow geese in these regions can lead to considerable economic and ecological consequences, making it essential to implement effective management and control strategies to minimize their impact. Farmers in Texas and California are grappling with serious challenges posed by snow geese, which are responsible for an estimated $81 million in crop damage annually. These birds, known for their insatiable hunger, have ravaged fields of grains and legumes, resulting in lower yields and higher replanting costs. The extent of the damage disrupts farming schedules and places a substantial financial strain on farmers. Hunting is a widely accepted and effective method for controlling snow goose populations. In Texas and California, which are the primary hotspots for these birds, designated hunting zones have been established. These areas are carefully managed to promote sustainable hunting practices, with specific guidelines and hunting seasons in place to ensure balanced population control. To hunt snow geese, hunters are required to obtain the necessary permits, which include both federal and state hunting licenses, as well as migratory bird hunting permits. The process involves completing safety courses, familiarizing themselves with local regulations, and often engaging in conservation efforts to ensure responsible hunting practices and the protection of wildlife habitats. Hunting with firearms offers a swift and effective way to reduce snow goose populations, protecting agricultural interests from further damage. Beyond its role in crop protection, hunting also contributes to the local economy through license fees, equipment sales, and hunting tourism. Hunters play an essential role in wildlife management by helping maintain ecological balance and ensuring that populations remain sustainable. While hunting snow geese with firearms is an effective method, it comes with its own set of challenges. Safety is of utmost importance, as improper firearm use can result in accidents. Additionally, environmental concerns, such as lead contamination from ammunition, need to be addressed. Ethical considerations are equally important, ensuring that hunting practices are both humane and sustainable for long-term wildlife management. After hours of intense hunting, the snow geese become a well-earned reward for the hunters. The meat of these birds is transformed into delicious dishes, offering a unique and rich flavor that stands out. Snow goose feasts not only satisfy the palate, but also honor the hunter's effort, turning each meal into a memorable and rewarding culinary experience. What do you think about hunting? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below the video. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next videos.